Yo, peep this. You just clicked on let's view it, and ticka Tyrone Cross. And this is my channel. If y'all roll with me before, then I'm glad you came back. And to all my new riders, I advise you grab that seatbelt and clack it, cause it could be a wild ride. You never know which way it's gonna turn, and you never know what I'm gonna say. But after the ride, if you enjoyed it, then I appreciate it if you subscribe. And if not, then you're just being typical. And no one wants to be typical, right? And as my viewers know, on my channel, I react to anything with my own style and my own flair. And I'm doing it live right there with y'all. This show is unscripted. And in this unscripted video, I'm going to be reacting to, baby haters. I mean, pro-abortionist. So you already know. Let's view it.
Guys, so you're having some aneurysms over here. When does a baby stop being a parasite, like she said? I know you're listening to the conversation. When does a baby stop being a parasite and then turns into a baby that's worth protecting?
Ask her. She's a biology major.
Oh, so am I. Okay, perfect.
So apparently she don't know the answer, so she deflected it to her partner. Wonderful.
I would say probably when the child is actually fully born. Modern medicine has been able to, we can give birth to children who are, premature, and modern medicine has been able to keep them alive, but naturally, they are not able to stay alive without that mother until their first breath.
Well, I got a little inside information for her. Even after the baby's first breath, it can't survive without the mother or some type of adult. Oh, she probably just started her biology class. They'll learn about that next semester.
Okay, so as a biology major, which I graduated with a biology degree, would you agree with the notion that an unborn baby is a parasite?
Yes, it's a parasitic.
What class are you taking that's telling you that?
Literally pathophysiology.
Is telling you that a baby is a parasite.
It acts as a parasitic animal.
It doesn't. Do you know the definition of a parasite?
Yes, explain it to me.
How ignorant can they possibly be? They'll literally say and act like they believe anything as long as it's supporting what they believe, or they think it's making a point. I don't know the definition of a parasite, but I'm pretty sure nowhere in there says you get it from sexual intercourse. Or that parasites turn into babies. That's just their way of dehumanizing the baby. Calling it a parasite. I can almost promise you, if they had a dog that was having puppies, say 6 puppies, they wouldn't say that dog has 6 parasites in it.
The definition of a parasite?
A parasite is something that lives inside of a host that has to feed off of that host.
And kills it. It's not a symbiotic relationship.
Not necessarily.
Yes, that's the definition of a parasite.
That's not the definition of a parasite.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It lives off of the host. It's a parasite. It kills the host.
Necessarily kill the host.
Thank you. Doesn't.
So you guys think that the baby is killing the mother?
It does in some cases, yes.
And then they do that. We all know some people have complication in pregnancies and it can kill the mom in a very small percentage. But in the context of this conversation, to call it a parasite, you mean that the majority of these babies are killing the mother. You know what? If you're gonna want to kill babies, I'm gonna need you to stay focused.
Okay, so at what point, so you think it has to pass through the birth canal and take the first breath to not be considered a parasite?
Yes. Because at that point, it no longer needs the mother.
How the hell does she keep coming to the conclusion that once a baby's born, it doesn't need nobody? Or are they doing semantics again, saying it doesn't need the mother, meaning the biological birth mother? It needs some sort of mother, some sort of caregiver. So is she saying once she has a baby, she's just gonna toss it? Be like, you're good, you took a breath, you don't need me anymore. Regarding the question on whether it's not a parasite anymore or when it's considered to be a life, I always ask the question, so when do we get our souls? And I get, if you're an atheist, you don't think you have a soul, but you probably still believe in ghosts for some reason.
I just want to read you this poster that I have because I hear a lot of pro-lifers say that life begins at conception. So my poster reads, "Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies."
Woo! You know what's pretty crazy? I honestly can't even say my life means more than a potential baby's. So that just shows you the mentality of these women.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus?
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it. Because it's living. It's living.
Was she too right? You don't know it. First of all, there's a heartbeat. You literally can monitor the heartbeat. What's the heartbeat for if it's not alive? We all know when our heart stops, we stop. So if our heart goes, we go. And the fact that they call it a potential life, the only reason why they believe it's so potential is because they want to murder it. They're the one causing the potentiality of the life. Is potentiality a word? I don't know. But if it's not, it should be. But other than that, I'm sure the statistics of babies dying naturally or miscarrying naturally is really low. Really low. So the only way to emphasize potential life is to take murder in consideration.
How would you let her speak?
You're fundamentally denying science to validate your opinion.
You actively deny science, ma'am.
How am I denying? What science did I deny, Darby?
Okay, so let's look at some posters over here.
But
you don't
So what science did I deny? So let's look at this poster over here. Answer the question. You can always tell a lie when people can't answer the questions. And that goes for a lot of science too.
I need you to tell me what science. You just made an accusation that I denied science. What science did I deny?
that it's a child inside of you. It is a clump of cells when
I'm a clump of cells. What makes me different?
That you were born. You were born.
You guys cannot tell me that's not the face of a witch. And I've seen witches. They hate kids. You know, the movie witches.
So you don't. What you're arguing is that anything that is not born is not valuable of life.
I did not say that.
It's subjective. So when does a child or fetus or clump of cells, whatever you want to call it, when does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain its own life.
But when is that? When is the sustainability? No, when is sustainability?
21.
Panel? Any help? I love the look of, can you guys help me out of this?
Like 30 weeks to born, like 24, 30.
Because how do you sustain life? Like my newborns aren't sustainable. You can't just have a newborn and they just live on their own, right?
Right.
They're not sustainable. They need help and assistance to survive. So is a newborn not worthy of life? Is a newborn not worthy of life?
I do have one thing to say to you. How is it?
Did she forget to answer the question again? That's a bad habit.
How is it that when my mom was in college 30 years ago, she was protesting the exact same thing that me and these wonderful other women and men on this side had been protesting? How is it? Why? Why are we still protesting? Why are we still having to talk about this issue? It is a basic human right to have an abortion, to have a choice.
The reason we're still having the question is because some people don't want to accept the natural consequences of heterosexual sex and be inconvenienced by another human life and want to selfishly choose to end human life in order to have their whims met. That is why you're still arguing that.
Well, the reason why we still argue about it is because you still want congratulations and for people to say you're right when you feel like total, utter shit for killing a baby. We're still having conversations about it because you're not honest. You're not honest with how big of a choice it is. You're not honest with how it affects women. You're misguiding other women. You guys are so quick to talk women into abortions, but never want to talk them out of them. Why is that? What's the big negative in saying, you know what, maybe you should keep your baby and be the best mom you can be? The reason why these women are so angry is because they're making terrible choices. Most of these women probably either had abortions or for some reason already know they want one if they do get pregnant. And that's why they're angry. Like I said, when do you get a soul? When do you get a soul? So that's the video of pro-choicers. You know, they're always angry. They're always going crazy. And it's kind of weird because they're allowed to have abortions. So really, what's the problem? The problem is we don't give them trophies for it. So tell me what you think. Do you think this is okay? Do you think we need to go a different way about it? Comment below. And if this video was interesting to you, entertained you, then you know, share it. Entertain someone. Let them think about something. Let them get a chance to comment below. But also, I'm gonna need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hitchhiker button and sub-ride with me. And I'll see you on the next trip. Day and night.
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
All my life.
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Can't help
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.